Absolutely fucking no one. Simple as that. Hello and welcome to maybe. Sorry, I should be looking at this camera here. Hello and welcome to maybe the start of this series. Or if you know, if I can be bothered doing this, or if it even aligns with my content. It won't, but I figured I might try and branch out because this is also another one of my major interests aside from gaming. Anyway, so the video. This is the start of the series, and I feel like it's a pretty suitable start. Who should you trust in the world of fitness? No one. No one has any fucking clue what they're talking about. But some people have more. Some people have less of a clue than others, right? Like, I mean, I think with everybody there is this. It's worth like listening to some people because they might have the wrong idea, but you can figure out how they got the wrong idea. Then maybe they just misinterpreted it, or maybe if you realize they have the wrong idea and it's really wrong, and there's nothing at all that supports their idea, then you know to never listen to them again. Anyway, so you know, I'm gonna go to case one right now. It's a pretty popular one. Mr. Eddiew Abbew. We'll call him that, Eddiew Abbew, right? Now, for those people in the world of fitness right now, they probably heard quite a lot about him. They probably heard him talking about, you know, going into the Tesco's or whatever, and then just shouting at random foods. You know, he's finding the hot cross buns. He's like, "Don't eat this fucking shit. This is fucking shit. Wake the fuck up." You know, that's his catchphrase, right? And I do kind of respect what he's doing, right? I do kind of understand. He's trying to tell everybody to eat proper food, right? He's trying to tell everybody to eat proper food, which is fair enough. Like, I get that. There's a big problem nowadays with shit food, like giga processed food pushed by companies and supermarkets, like cereal. Cereal is just you don't really need cereal. I know that's probably something that you know you've been eating since you were like 6 years old. Cereal's probably not the best for you. Just like I'm sure there's other better stuff you can get. And Mr. Eddie agrees, right? The problem is he's not always 100% normal.
Today we're talking about protein.
We'll just look at this real quick.
If you're trying to build muscle, when you eat the protein, your body has to absorb it and then use it. That's protein utilization, right?
Alright, so the whole gist of this video, right, is that he's telling you eat proper protein because he's basically just telling you eat eggs. He's saying eat eggs and you can grow muscle, because if you eat whey protein or something, you only get 17% of that. Now I do have a problem with this, unfortunately, for Mr. Eddie, right? He says all this. He says eggs, you know.
When you eat an egg, 48% of the egg can become tissue.
Right. So he says 48% of the egg can become tissue. Now, and then he goes on to say whey is only 17%. Now the problem with that is he doesn't get those numbers from anywhere. Like, let's just to prove my point, you know. I'm gonna look up whey protein, 17% protein utilization. Like, verbatim what he was saying. There is nothing. The thing that people might see, they'll search something up like that, and they'll go to Stack Exchange. And you sort of sit there and you're like, this is not a fucking source, right? If you want a source, what you do is you find something like this, a peer-reviewed paper in a medical journal that's certified. It's not someone that some random stranger can just post online because Ronnie Coleman told them to do it 20 years ago, right? It's this thing. People lack critical thinking skills when it comes to this, and I don't know why, but it seems to be just a massive issue with fitness in general. There seems to be a lot of people that they hear something and they just take that for gospel immediately. And I'm sitting here like, well, that doesn't really make much sense. You know, this 17% figure, I mean, you can go and look for yourself. You're welcome to. In fact, Mr. Eddie actually encourages that. Because, you know, there've been a couple cases where people on TikTok have actually asked him, you know, what are you talking about? Where are you getting these numbers from? And he's like, do your own research. I'm just trying to, you know, mimic the voice or whatever. He says, do your own research, right? And you do your own research, and nothing comes up. Nothing of value actually comes up. It's just the only thing you can get that reinforces what he says is some random source from some random somebody. And you don't know if they have any qualifications whatsoever. People just trust this shit for no reason, and you know that's just fuck. Fuck! I don't know what I'm fucking saying anymore. Yeah, Eddie, he has a good mentality, as in eating proper food and whole food, but a flawed approach to it. Because what he does is he demonizes everything that he deems as not real. But he says I mean, I'm sure you can find it. I can't be bothered looking right now, but I'm sure you can find it. He says whey protein is bad and ultra processed. I mean, whey is a food. It's what happens when you make cheese. You curdle the, I think it's the proteins in milk, and you make cheese, and then whey's the liquid left over. It's protein, right? And then I really, this is something I really don't understand. He says 17% of whey protein versus 48% of egg protein, and he says
because it's a very good protein. It's probably the best protein in the world, apart from breast milk. Whey protein is only 17%. Can be absorbed.
I wasn't expecting that breast milk thing, but yeah. And he says it's one of the best proteins in the world. I mean, he won't tell you why, because that's something you gotta research for your own. But then when you do research it, you see where's it gone? Hang on, I just saw it. Ah, there we go. Whey protein. The breakdown of whey protein, right? It has a high level of, you know, branched chain amino acids. You see, that makes it, for muscle growth at least, a good protein, right? And that's why you'll see companies trying to sell you like BCAAs to try and get more money out of you, because they're like, oh, these are the proteins you need, but you know, you can just get them from food, like whey protein, which is a food, Mr. Eddie. It is a food. Yeah, it's just he says do your own research, and it doesn't exist. Now, on the flip side, he has solid ideas, flawed approach. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And I think the main problem is that he says go do your own research, but I don't think, not many people do, and they just kind of take his word as gospel. Maybe that's his fault, but I doubt it. Maybe it's just the general population forgot how to use critical thinking. That might be what it is. Now, I don't want to sound like the TNF meat writer here, but let's just investigate. All right, back. Okay, so this is part of reinforcing my point. You know, it's don't trust everything you see, right? So, you know, TNF, he's big science-based fitness creator on TikTok, right? And he's known for giving a source for like everything he does. Like, where is it? Ah, shit. Fuck. Anyway, back. Okay, so what I was saying in this video, right? He's saying do a what do you call it? Do high res. He's saying, oh, you know, high res work better. And the problem is, people are so used to somebody knowing what they're talking about and providing sources that even if they don't provide a source, they still assume they know what they're talking about. You know, you can just see it. You know, bro, I believe everything you say. That's a problem. See, TNF recognizes it, right? He's one of the this is one of the people that has critical thinking skills. I completely believe what you're saying. Bro told me the moon. Yeah, it's this stuff, and you know, part of it's probably a joke. But the problem is that there are these people, and they just kind of expect fitness influencers to be right 100% of the time. especially the ones that, you know, oh, well, I know this dude's right, so he must be right here. And the problem with that is he doesn't, you know, if you don't give a source, you kind of got to take it with like a grain of salt, or in Eddie Abbew's case with the 17% whey protein, a big mountain of salt. You know, he's like, fuck. So I mean, controlling. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. All right, basically, what I'm saying is, don't trust anybody. Do not trust anybody because they don't know what they're talking about. Nobody does, unless they like genuinely provide a source, and you can verify that the source is peer-reviewed, right? It comes from a publication that's actually like useful, like fucking, where is it? The NIH, PubMed stuff, basically. You can or ResearchGate even, you know, trusted research sites. You can verify that from trusted research sites. They're peer-reviewed, and this is a big one. And number 3, check the sources, right? Because if the sources, just in case, because you never know what can slip through the cracks. Just make sure the sources aren't going to like some random motherfucking just random article online, because there's a lot of those. Like some people, they've done like a Bachelor of Exercise Science, and they're just gonna they just say whatever the fuck they want because they're like, oh, I have a Bachelor of Exercise Science. You know, it's just just think and just do your own research, because a lot of the times it's beneficial for people to tell you exactly what they want to tell you to promote a business or a narrative or their motive or whatever. They kind of can do whatever the fuck they want, because they've cultivated this audience of people who are, well, he must be telling the truth because I know he's right some other times. It's not necessarily like that. So just be careful out there. Don't take everything that someone says as gospel. Do your own research, especially if, I don't care if they're like a big bodybuilder or something, because you look at the way people like Arnold used to train and Ronnie Coleman used to train and all those people. Their training style is very different, and according to the literature, which I will find, right, and I will put a link on the screen right now. I will find something like I can't say that, can I? What disproves Ronnie Coleman? Shit. What was this? What was I even saying? I've forgotten now. Oh, do I need a? Oh, maybe I should have a script for this. Oh, a script would be fucking helpful, huh? Yeah. Shit. Fuck. Yeah. So just. Anyway, I got a bit off track. You know, do your own research, and just even what I'm saying, right? If I say something like, the bodybuilders of 20 or 30 years ago weren't training as optimally as they could have, right? I think I'm right because I've done my own research and I've come to my own conclusions based on that. But if you're one of those people who are gonna say you're wrong because you're not as big as them, that's stupid. That's an appeal authority fallacy, which is just a really retarded way of thinking in the first place, and it comes back to lacking critical thinking skills. You know, we evolved from apes. Let's not act like them. If you're one of those people who just says, oh, well, my favorite bodybuilder trained that way, so that must be the way I'm supposed to train because they're bigger, that's flawed mentality. Do your own fucking research, because I guarantee you, most of the times it will disprove what they're saying. Or if you're the slightly less common, because let's be honest, the majority of people think the other way. But if you're one of those people who are like, oh, well, this guy, he's done his research and he's making a YouTube video, so he must know what he's talking about. So I'm gonna follow everything he says ever. I could be wrong, you know. I could have misinterpreted some research 100%, and I admit I've done that a couple times. My bad. Everybody's human. Nobody is flawless. But it's just, if somebody says something, verify it, because it's just so common nowadays for people to not. And then you get these arguments in the gym. People saying, "Oh, you should do 20 to 30 reps for calves and 6 sets," versus this other person saying, "Oh, 5 to 9 reps, 2 sets, that should be enough." I actually had that happen to me today. It's just, yeah, to take everything, do your own research, and take what everybody says with a grain of salt. No matter who they are, no matter if they're the biggest bodybuilder in the world or they're the best, the most followed research-based TikToker out there, or they always use a source for this video and these videos, and even if they didn't have a source for this video, they must be right in this video. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Bad way of thinking. Yeah, so that's basically main takeaway. Don't trust anybody. Trust don't trust anybody but people who have to be held accountable. Peer review research, studies conducted by professionals in a professional environment. That should be your main basis for your training knowledge. It's simple as that. The most credible source is the one you should probably base your opinions off of most of the time.